All right, and welcome back to another lesson. Now, this one I'm going to try to make really quick by sticking to the point, just hit it and go. So, there have been a few people that have been keeping up with the channel, and they every now and then they'll send me their drawings so that I can kind of critique it to see, their improvement. And one thing I've noticed with basically all of the people that send me their drawings is they will do the front position. Let me draw this real quick. The front position, this is going to be just quick. The front position, like that, just the character standing in the front position. And then they'll work on that, and then they'll work on it, and they'll work on it, and try to get it perfect before they move on. But in order to go to the next level, shall we say, you have to not be so concerned about everything being so perfect before you move on. So I want to help you to get this right and then move on. So the first thing is, like I said, you need to start drawing some drawings that you really don't care about. Just do something that comes to your head, somebody running, somebody jumping, two people arguing. Just do it and don't really care about it, because the more you draw, the better you become. And that's just it. If you drive, when you first started driving, you weren't the greatest driver. You were going off, between the lines and maybe hitting the curve when you made that left turn or that right turn. So it's just practice. Don't get frustrated with yourself. It's just practice. That's all it is. So in drawing the front position, I'm going to do a couple of them and show you a couple ways so that you can kind of follow that and do it, and then we'll move on from there. So one of the ways is, let me switch paper because I want to put it on both on the same paper, is the oval way, doing the oval. And there are a couple different ways you can do your front position, but as I always say, it's a puzzle. And once you get the puzzle pieces together, it comes out right. So oval, that center line, you always have to have the center line. This little rectangle down here, which I call the tuna can, and then your upside down house. So from here, you have your collarbone that goes across, leaving your shoulders. You want to mess up on me now, camera. See, I like to let the thing warm up before I draw. You have so that's basically like a cross right there. You have leaving your shoulders. So you have the circle right here. Circle. You can do a circle or oval, depending on what you want to do. Your oval here, and then your long triangle right there. Now you have to stick with these three shapes. You have to stick with these three shapes in order to make this come out easier. So your oval, and of course that long triangle. Now here, let's just say we're going to do a thicker oval, a small circle, and it's kind of like reversed almost. And then your triangle upside down. Now with this, you're going to cut it where the wrists are going to stop. And with this, you're going to cut it where the feet stop. Now the one thing about this is that I don't think I really discussed it with people or told people. In a way I did, in a way I didn't. Where your crotch is where your wrist is going to stop. So right away, these are short. So these are the measurements when you draw your characters, especially when their arms are down, because a lot of people put their arms down when they draw. Your wrist is going to be right here, and then your hand is going to be below that. So in order to do that, we're going to have to make this longer. Now this piece and from here to here are the same length. So if you have one longer than the other, then basically you're wrong. So let me do this. Since we're getting right now, we have your circle, and it's a learned thing. It's like I said, the more you draw, the better you get. You just have to do it over and over and over and over again. But just take note on what I'm doing, and then kind of follow that. And then remember that wrist is going to stop right there. Now, where you put your chest here, that is where your delt is going to stop right there. So we have this ball here, but the bottom of your delt is going to be right here at the bottom, just maybe just a little above the chest line. So just remember that, like this is one whole part. This is one whole part of the arm. These two, this circle and this oval, keep that, and then just make that point. Now you want to have the point more to the side. Let me get an ink pen because I got a lot of lines going on, or pen, like so. Understanding also that the chest and the delt could be one piece. I kind of like to draw them as one piece. It comes up and then it curves around. So let me do this. Comes up and then it curves around like that. Then you have that point. It's not going to be in the middle like this unless you kind of like twist your arm. It's always going to be more on the outside. So the chest is going to come up and curve. And remember I say it's going to be down here, just a little above the chest, and curve like that. So a lot of times I'll draw that as one piece, especially if it's a straight on shot. So at this point, you're going to separate your bicep and your tricep. And then this is going to come to a point, and there's a muscle that comes around back here. But I'm not going to worry too much about the muscle, but just know that it rides along this, and you kind of have that separation here. And you come down, cut it here. It doesn't have, it's not going to go below it. It's going to be just, if your crotch is here, it's going to be either right there, depending on how your arms are. If your arms are straight down or out, it's going to be just a little above it, and then you're going to have your hands. And we'll get into hands. I'll do a whole other video. So this is going to come, and your collarbone sits right on top of this. It really doesn't sit on top of it. It stops where this ball is. And there's an indentation because this comes out and around and in, and then out for your chest, out and around and in, and then in here, and then it comes out to the chest. And that's just something you're going to have to kind of mentally envision, and that's why we have this line here. Don't treat them as like two different muscles. Treat it as kind of the same with a little indentation right here. So as I say, your collarbone is going to be here, and it's going to come up, and it's going to be right at the top of that thing there, leaving this room for your shoulders. At the center point, you're going to have this V that comes up to the top, come up a little bit, and I usually put my chin like right, as this goes around, I put my chin right here, and then do whatever size you need for the head. And then there are like two muscles from the ear. We're not going to get into that. I want to do this quickly and then move to the next level. So your bicep is going to come around, curve around. You have a little tricep that comes. If this is the point, the tricep comes above this point right there. It's going to come above it and then down. And you may see some of the elbow. Remember, there's a point here at the bottom, and it separates these two right there. Cut it. We'll do the hand later. Okay, so I don't want to get into detail into the body, but just remember this right here and this are the same length as well. So you're not going to have one shorter or one taller unless you're doing some kind of alien type creature. So I don't want to get too much into the body and measuring because we're going to focus on the top part. So that's one way. Another way you can do it is just a rectangle. Same thing. This could be your collarbone. You have your delts right here, your oval, and then your long triangle. Okay, so let's work with the delts. The delts are going to be here. So basically, you can say where your chest is. My chest is going to come down about right here, curving up, and then into that. So your delt is going to be about like that. Don't have the chest too low down. That, and then this part right here. And let's just say this is my arm. So you're going to know where your crotch is by doing your arm. And we're going to focus on the arm. This is why I'm focusing on the arm. Focusing on the arm. So then from here, I'm going to have my upside down house. You're going to have this little mountain, and you drop that house down a little bit more because this arm is out. If it was down, straight down, then it would be down here. So you're going to bring it down a little bit more because you have to have your pieces. You have this piece, this rib cage. Let me get some color. Let's get some color. I can't find a color. My red pencil. Let's see, blue pencil. Red is better. We have this shape right here. We have your the obliques, and these are just, you can do this like alien bug eyes or something, because it's like flat like that, and this sits on top of it, and then which brings into the stomach here, and then you have your hips. So what am I doing? We have my chest. You go to the center line. We have this shape again. We're gonna have the obliques, and then you have your hips sitting on top of that. So as this comes around and down, this oblique is going to be like this, or that love handle. It's going to be like that. Remembering your shapes. So what I've just did here was I did this. And if you do that, I'll do it again real quick. You can just go ahead and do your body parts from it before you put your arms on. Let's just say I want to put my chest right here. It's going to be my this. And I want to bring it down a little bit more. Say this is going to be my stomach, my oblique. And this is going to be where my belt is. And then I'll have my upside down house. So basically from that rectangle, you just add these little pieces, and then you can go from there. Here's my chest, and my delt is going to be here. Come down. My arm is going to stop right there. Or you can, and then of course your legs, your arms and your legs are just the simplest thing. Or you can just do, if you want a more muscular, like that. It's basically just a triangle. Chop it off, and then from here, you figure out how long you want your top body. From here, you do your upside down house. Same thing. Delts, arms, and legs. So what these three shapes, you can do the oval shape and go from there. You can do just a rectangle, or you can do this. And especially if you're covering up the person with clothes, you don't need to put muscle, but we'll get into that as we get in. This is just taking it to the next level. The only thing about this is you want to put your delts. You don't want your delts hanging off of this. You want to kind of like bring them inside. You don't want this to be so wide that it just looks ridiculous. So whenever you have that, you want to bring your delts into it. Remember, this is your collarbone. Above that will be your shoulder, center line, V, neck, head. Okay, so we got that. So that's for you guys that are doing these straight on shots and, kind of stressing over it. Just remember your points of measurement. Chest. And this right here is just kind of like over the belly button. If you do your abs, and we get into the muscle, it'll be like your second ab, just over the belly button is where this is going to bend at. And then that. Now, so moving on to the next step. So just say you pretty much got your straight on shot down. The next thing you have to do to move on to that next level is start moving your character a little at a time. So let's just say we'll do this. And I was saying we're focusing on the arms because that is the part that we're going to focus on. Unlike my camera, who doesn't like the focus. I guess when I take paper away, that's because I have this pad and it doesn't have the black under it. Where's my yellow? My little cut sheet. Give it something to focus on. So this, I'm going to do the T or the cross. Put the delt underneath that. It's like this. almost like drawing a stick person. Underneath that, and then start putting your arms. We're not going to use muscles. We're going to do our arms. Now, the one thing you want to start doing is you want to at least take about 3 days, at least 3 days, and just do arms. Do these, do a bunch of these ovals, not worrying about anything else other than maybe the T or the cross. So, and then start doing that. Your circle, oval, and then start moving this around. Start moving your triangle around. You can have the whole point. It doesn't make a difference. Start moving that thing around. Let's just say this. And let's just go up. And you're using the triangle because when you put the curve, you have your back curve and your front curve. When you see that front curve, you know that thing is more facing you. And then put your hands. Like I say, you don't have to, but as long as you have this curve and this front curve, you're good. So this one would be like this. If I do this one, this is going to be facing me too. Same thing here. Start using your remember these things when your arms raise, your collarbone raises as well. So you can actually, let's just say, I'll put this here. If I'm not too sure about the collarbone, I'll put that, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do this. So that collarbone is going to be right on top like that. So if this one is going just kind of regular, it's going to be right on top of that. And then I'll put this, let's just say I'll do this oval, and then triangle. And then of course you're going to have just a little bit of shoulder left, and the center line is where your neck is going to go. And when this pulls up, you're going to scrunch up this part of the shoulder. So you're going to have less shoulder over here than you do over here. You'll see less shoulder here than you do here. But it's right. But for at least 3 days, don't do anything except the arms. Move your arms. Move your arms. Let's say I'll put it up high. Let's say I want both his hands up. So I'll do this. Oval. And then my triangle. I said this guy, let's say he's reaching back, like behind his neck. Oval. And then the curve of my triangle like that, because I know if I can see the inside of this, that means it's going back. And then he's reaching back. So I'll chop this off right here, give it just as much circle as I have there, and his hand could be there, and he could be reaching for a sword or something. So remember, again, if this is your center line, your collarbones are going to connect right at the center line. So this is going to go up. That's going to go up to the top of that point. Let's do another one. But you just have to start tilting that collarbone to go with that line. That's why I say take about 3 days, at least 3 days, and just do arms. Do a bunch of these things, and then just say, you know, how am I gonna put his arm? Just put his arm any old which way. And if you're doing perspective, like the arm is in front, like maybe he's holding a gun, same thing. Do your T or your cross. Here is this. What I usually do, if I do the hand, if I'm pointing or the hand is kind of facing forward, I'll draw my hand where I want it. Let's just say this is going to be my hand. Let's do a square. It's going to be a square. So I'm going to come back. This point, this is going to be that triangle. And then what's left is that oval, like that. Let me ink this, get a better ink pen. So this is a given. You have this, remember it's at the top. You have that ball. This is my hand. However, I'm going to put my hand here. And this is a raggedy pen. Let's get a better pen. Try again. Here's my hand. Here is that triangle. And then we're going to cut it here for my wrist. And then the oval. So if I put that hand here in front, the more you put your hand in front, the less you're going to see of everything else. If I put my hand here, This is a given. It's going to always be right on top of that collarbone. Always, always. So that's easy. So if it's straight in front, you're going to have like this. If I'm looking down at this here, it's going to be like that. Now if I chop this part off here, it's going to be like that. So it depends on how I shift it. This front circle can be at the bottom. It can be at the top. It can even be coming off of that to make that cone shape. So if this is my hand, let's just say this is my hand, it's my fist. What a raggedy fist you just did. So I'm gonna have that lump right here, and then you fit in that bicep right there. So that's just doing 2 circles and a third circle for your delt. Are you focused good enough? Hopefully. 1, 2, and here's my delt connecting to my collarbone, and this goes up. Remember, this comes in and it comes out from the chest. Now, but you have to remember your measurements, because as I said, this, your chest comes here, comes up, and then it comes into that. Whatever that point is always to the side, always close to the edge. And then your tricep is going to be back here, more the top, and it curves in like that. Because your tricep is, how is it from the back? How is it from the back? The back, I'm trying to draw the back delt. Right now, my brain is just, it's not seeing it. But your tricep is shaped like this. It's at a horseshoe. It's at a horseshoe like this. It separates like that. This is the very back, and it comes down to the elbow, and then it comes to the back of the arm. So this is like that. It goes like this. And then you have your back. This goes up, your shoulder, spine. No, that comes down. No, I'm right. It comes all the way across. See, now, forget that because you couldn't see that anyway. Just understand that this is right. This is right. So this is going to be wide here and narrow there. So this is going to be like this. You're always going to have that part, especially when the guy's muscular. What I was going to say. Okay, now, when you raise your arm like this, just like this is connected here. This is going to be connected to the top. We already established that. This is the top of the chest. This part is going to come around and be connected. So this is going to curve around. You can give that a little more bulge. It's going to curve around into the chest. So the arm is going to come out from here. This is going to come around down there. So if I have my arm, let's just say if this is the oval right here. This is going to come around like this and that underneath of it. And it's going to be the top. And this is going to, well, actually, this is going to go to the bottom of the start my chest. And this is going to come around, and then your lats are going to come out like that. Either my glasses are dirty, which they are, or this is kind of trying to blur on me. So, once again, well, let's use this one while I'm here. Well, it's not too messed up. So it's going to curve around, because this is a ball. It's going to curve around and then go straight as it hits that collarbone. Because remember, the collarbone stops like right here. It stops right on the edge of that. And then you have the curves around, and it's going to come down into the chest. Now you might have to widen that out a little bit, just out. That's why you do your rough sketches. Now this, because his arm is so high and I didn't see it, it's going to be like this. His arm is going to come like that. This is going to be way up high, like that. Same thing here. It's only going to curve like this if it follows the arm. It's always going to be on the side of the arm, and as I say, you're going to have it's going to curve around like this and come out down here, and then your lats are going to be like that. I know this paper is really messed up, so let's switch papers and just kind of hit that one last time, and then we will call this one a wrap. But you need to do this and just concentrate, and then the next one I'll do legs, and I'll just concentrate on these little pieces that you need to do to take that next level so that your character is not just always straight up and down. As I say, first of all, don't stress on this too much. Like you say, I can't move on until I get this perfect. I get this perfect. So then, you know, when you do move on, you're so used to doing this, you can't do anything else because moving the arm won't be perfect. So you're messed up. And so you say, okay, well, I'll just keep drawing this and I'll just dress him and I'll do that. But to take that next level, you have to start moving your character, and you might as well start with the arm. All right, what's this in? A couple more, just a couple more. And of course, this is straight on too. Now, when we do, like when I angle it, it's a whole different story. So I'll just do 4. I don't know how I'm gonna do the 4, but I'm just gonna do the 4. So let's just say center line and the cross. So of course, right at the bottom are your delts. So let's just say I want to give this guy cross his arms like this. So triangle, and then this. The other one is going to be the same thing. Triangle. You kind of judge how long this is going to be. Triangle. Because this hand is really going to tuck up under this arm, and this hand is going to fall behind that arm. So all you need is just the 2 triangles. Triangle. And then, you know, let's bring it out. So if this is my delt, it's going to be here. How can I put that? If the arms are coming in or if the arms are folded out, I'll do this one with them out. So it's going to be like this. You're going to have this here, seeing some of this tricep, and then this delt right here, which you cut in because, again, it's going to be like this, go in and out, or should I say out, in, and then out, like that. So if I ink this, it'll look like this. Delt, you have this, and you have this. So I put a little shape to that. So if I'm just doing this, it's going to be like this, seeing some tricep right here, and separate the tricep bicep. I shouldn't have done that because now I'm showing you muscle. And then this, which collarbone here, shoulder, make that V to the top of that shoulder, go straight up. Where the extra line is, I put my chin. Unless he's looking down. That's such a skinny head. Like that. So as I was saying, if these arms are kind of like, how can I say that, coming in. So if I'm going to do that again and my arms are more out, say like, this is going to be way out here. This is going to be an exaggeration. And the other one is way out here too. Then you got your delt. You're going to see more of that arm going out, kind of like a triangle, shall we say. My delt. And the delts are given. Wherever this line is, you do that. So you're good with that. How long have you been blurred, huh? Again, I don't know how long it's been blurred. I just looked up. So we have that. As I said, this is kind of like exaggerating. It's going past the body. This is a given. You're going to have this. You're going to have these. They stop right here at that curve where that body curves around. That's where they stop. Then your delts come. So these are given. You just wherever that is, you're going to put them there. Then you have this, because as I say, I always draw my hand wherever I need my hand and I connect everything else. But this is a given. It's already there. So that. So this is going to come from the end right up until that delt. So as these are coming in like this, these are going out. And I say that was kind of an exaggeration how far you spread the arms. Oh yeah, how far the arms are spread. And again, you have your leftover here, shoulder, right here at the center. You bring that V up, depending on how fat you want that neck. Come up from there. The chin is going to start right here at that base of that circle. Go out, connect to that neck, and then come around. I'm not going to do anything else because I want you to do the arms. Once you do the arms. So, again, let's just say, start out with the oval to my cross. If those arms are raised, this cross is not going to be straight up. Remember, the arms are raised. This is going to go up too. Well, it's not going to really go down, but it's going to go up. You know, it could be way up, and this one could be out like that. Or they could be both up, or they could be both out. So let's just do this. Remember, here's my oval. These are going to stop right here, right where that oval is. And then you're going to have your delt. Give it a little curve because it is a circle. Give it a little curve. And as I say, this point is going to stop wherever this oval part is. This is going to stop here. It's going to come and go around to the chest. So it's going to stop here. You're going to start your delt. Wherever that line is like that. And it's going to curve around like that. Now, of course, my ovals are not going to be so narrow. They're going to be wider when I do my character. So I'm going to give them a little more collarbone. But this is just for you. And so you're going to have a little piece here. It's going to come around. And you have a little piece here. And then your delts and rib cage. Because you have your underarms, which nobody really draws. It's like right. I think it goes right against the chest, if I'm not mistaken. Because nobody draws it. And I haven't really ever drew it. And I just learned that because I'm like, where's the underarm part at? Nobody does that. So it's from here to the chest, and then I believe you have your lats. Your lats come out from the underarm, if I'm not mistaken. And then of course you're still gonna have your head, and this is gonna be scrunched up. Look in the mirror, you'll see that it scrunches up. This little part, all that scrunches up right there. One last one. I think they covered it. Let's just go straight out. Let's go straight out with it. It's just simple. Again, oval, center line, cross, comes off of there. And it will come into the body. It will come. That's why you have this cut part right there. So it's going to come around, in, and then back out for the chest. So let's say my arm's going to be straight out. Maybe he's going to do like a double bicep shot. We have the triangle, oval, triangle, and then you got your double bicep. You just want to show his biceps. So because that's straight out, you're still going to have that. You're going to go around that curve. Again, you're going to it's going to go and end right here at that circle. Then it's going to curve up and then hit that bicep and then curve back in like that. So it's going to go up, that bicep, curve, come down, and then up. So that bicep is going to come out from under that. Your tricep is like that. Depends on how big you want the arm. That tricep is going to come that, and you're going to have your lats. You're going to have a little bit of that, but your lats, but if you do that, your lats are going to take over everything like that. And then you have that little dip where the bone is connected. And for those of you who want big arms and you go to the gym, your bicep is about like this, and your tricep is the biggest muscle. And there's another muscle right here. It goes up in here. I don't want to get into that, but everybody wants to get the bicep. Your bicep will actually go up, not like get really big. This is the biggest part of the arm right here, your tricep, because you have the two muscles here, which is the bicep is just a little teeny little piece. If you drew the bicep, it comes up like this. The tricep comes down, and as I say, there's another muscle that goes in between them. But yeah, you just get, you'll get that little heel, but you get this big piece here. So take about 3 days and just draw the arm using the cone. Don't try to do muscle. That's a lot of time people start drawing. They want to just draw these muscles. They want to get the characters with these muscles. Don't worry about the muscles. Use your basic shape when you do your arm. 1, 2, and 3. Depending on which way that arm is facing, if it's straight, then you're going to have your straight triangle. If you have a little curve to it, depending on which way the curve is, tells you which way that forearm is aiming. So if I do a curve like this, the front has to be curved with that wrist. And it's going to go down, remember, from that bicep, which goes all the way in, or that part of the arm, which goes all the way in and over. And if I curve the other one the other way, which would reverse like this. So which way did it? This way. Okay, so it's going to be open. If I did that like this, and you see the openness of this, that means that hand is going back. So that hand could have like a knife or something, and he's about to, or blade. How about that blade? If he's coming to chop you, it would be more like this. Like that, because it's going back. Because you're seeing up into it. So it's going to be like this. So if I put a wristband on this guy, it's going to be curved around like that, which tells me the arm is going behind my head, behind his head. Like that. Remember this. Boom, like that. Hit that. And then it curves in for that arm, for that chest. Just going to have a little piece here. Here's my curve, my bicep, my tricep right there. And then my lats are going to come down right here. This is right here is where the collarbone starts. This comes around, curving like that. And then back out for the chest. And then you have that. Here's my neck, my delt. So it's going to come down. It's my chest. And then your what is your ribs? It's called something. I forgot what it's called. So yeah, depending on which way you curve that. So that is going to be it for this quick little lesson, 39 minutes. That wasn't really quick. So just practice that. 3 days of doing your arms, just this piece. Do the oval, nothing else. Don't try to add abs. Don't even really worry too much about the chest. Just use those guidelines as that. And then just, look at the video again and just follow what I did to make it easy for you. I think I did a nice slow one so that you can do it. If not, because I am a teacher and we're already in the 40 minutes, I'll do one last slow one because that's just how I do. Okay, steps. Oval. Oval, first step. Center line, second step. Third one is where are you going to put the collarbone? Let's just put the collarbone there to make that cross. That comes off and a little bit into it. Comes off a little bit into it. So let me take this one up. Take this one up. Remember, the collarbone is going to stop right there, right off of that circle. And then you have your, since it's a circle, you want to bring it up like that. Oval and triangle. Same thing. Oval and triangle. And you have to play with the length. Remember, this is the same length as this whole piece here. Since this is curved this way, since that's curved this way, you have to cut that wrist off that way too. And then there's your hand. Is that the right thumb? The thumb's going to be on the inside. See there? See there? The thumb is going to be on the inside. Well, you really screwed that one up. Yes, I did. So anyway, here's your hand. So it's going to have that curve like that. Same thing from this. If this is going backwards, you're going to see an open right here. And you're going to have that curve right there as well. And there's the other hand. The palm, the other palm, the thumb is going to be on the inside. Like that. And then your elbow here. Whatever space you have left, that could be the elbow. And then your bicep, which comes all the way to the arm. Bicep, tricep comes all the way to connect under here because this is a hood. Then you have this go over and then there. This comes down to the chest. So again, this stops right here. Then because it's a circle, it's going to come here. This is not going to be in the middle. This is always going to be near the edge of that circle. Come up and in to the chest. Here's this. Your tricep is going to come up higher, come out and in, this like that. So just practice that a couple times. I mean, just the way I did it. Don't worry about the hands. I just did the hands because I'm stupid. And practice that a couple times. Take 3 days off. Just arms, just arms. And that way, you'll start moving into that next, let's say, the next level of drawing. Because once you have this down, once you have your puzzle pieces down and your measurement down right, then you can start saying, oh, okay, now I can, put his arm up or something. He could be, holding his sword. He could be one of the knight kind of people, holding his sword up over his head when that pen doesn't write. Why did you pick that up? You just have to practice with the length of your parts of your arms. That's why I say do the triangle, because basic triangle, there's no real curves to it. Get the length right, then chop off the wrist, and then if you want to put your curves, you can put your curves. And then he's got his sword. Hey, we just won the victory. The victory's ours. Yeah, Then the other hand could be up with the little peace symbol. Yeah, we did it. We got it. How's it? 1 and 2 and I don't know. 4 fingers, and where's the thumb is going to be here, and we got the peace symbol because they won the battle. Yeah, so that is taking step to the next level without even having to twist the body. So practice that 3 days at least, just arms, the oval and the arms. I'm not going to go over it again because we're almost at 45 minutes. So that's going to be it for this lesson. Practice that 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, and then I'll get back to you with the next lesson for taking your drawing to the next level. All right, go draw something.